You know, I think the craziest thing is that it really did kind of start out with Festo approaching me saying, you know, we've been asked to perform 93 Till Infinity from top to bottom, and we thought of you, and we wanted you to come out and film the show. And I said, absolutely, of course, you know, and I think along the way somewhere I said, maybe we should do some interviews of some of the folks, and you know, like just to maybe put it along with the show. You know, the album's got the anniversary coming up, and when we got back from that show, it was incredible what people had said, and we noticed that we just had something more here, and that we could do something really, really special here. And so that's, you know, like part of what the journey was. It was like I had no idea that shooting this one show would turn into a 2-year journey of tracking down people to do interviews to talk about this one particular album. And you know, like so many cool coincidences. Like I fly to New York a lot for jobs, and I just happened to be in New York doing a job, and the Souls were there doing Rock the Bells, so I had a chance to go with them and shoot that show and catch up with a lot of people that were out there, like you know, Stretch Armstrong, and you know, just a lot of people who aren't in the Bay Area usually, who I had a chance to catch up with and talk about the album with. And you know, it was just falling into place in so many different ways. I knew I was on the right track. I never had any big stumble. You know, like it was really, really tough to catch up with Ice Cube, Questlove, Too Short. They were all really hard to catch up with. You know, once I saw them face to face, it, you know, was absolutely, of course. But the process in getting to them was a definite task. Ice Cube was a must because he's intricate to the story. He's an integral part to their story. And, you know, Ice Cube's people were really, really like responsive and super cool. But he's a busy guy, doesn't have a lot of time to sit down. And so, you know, like after maybe 5 or 6 attempts of him coming through the Bay Area and me being in Los Angeles, I finally caught him and I got a shout out from him. So, you know, like it was a lot of stories like that where, you know, like I knew if I just got something, anything, you know, like that would suffice. But you know, like I never wanted to give up. I always had the belief that, you know, like if I stayed persistent and I kept to the vision that I had, it would work out.
And you got Snoop Dogg too in there.
Snoop Dogg, who he actually just recorded a song with the Souls for their new album that they're doing with Adrian Young. They just did a video, and so while they were down there, I think that's one of the that's unknown fact. The Souls actually, I think Damani shot that. And they were in the studio in Festo. So like they shot that shout out and sent it to me, and I snuck it in. It's probably maybe about a month or so ago when they did that. Snuck it into the final cut, which was, you know, great. So, you know, Souls of Mischief and Snoop Dogg, you know, Snoop Dogg's a huge fan. Who knew? It went fantastic. You know, I couldn't have asked for anything more. You know, the Souls of Mischief came out. They brought their family, their friends. You know, we had their peers, you know, come out. So we had Lyrics Born, Dante Ross. A lot of people who helped contribute to the film came out. And, you know, it was just a great feeling in the room, you know, to have all the support that I had along the way making the film to come out for the premiere as well. Tons and tons of hours of footage. So there's, you know, there's tons of stuff that, you know, just interviews on top of interviews on top of interviews, and then I shot maybe 12 shows total over the course of the 2 years. So much stuff, and the biggest challenge with that, you know, like you can never have enough, but at the same time, there's so much to choose from. You have to figure out the essential stories and facts to put into a story like this for, you know, like for it to be succinct. Well, I think I counted once, and my total was 72 interviews. And it may have grown since I had done that count, but so it's in the 100 interview area. And what was great was I had the opportunity to go with the Souls of Mischief to, you know, like festivals like Rock the Bells and Pay Dues, where there are, you know, countless acts on the, you know, they're all on the bill. They're all there for that one day. And so I would take my camera and I'd go and catch up with as many people as I could and get what I could.
Yeah.
You know? So this is the result of it. You know, like people who were just really, really happy to take a second and, you know, tell a story or give a shout out. So, you know, some of those stories are super interesting. You know, you talk about Merce. You know, I grabbed him. I could tell, you know, like, he's friends with the guys, and I knew that he'd, you know, at least want to say congratulations, happy 20th anniversary. So, you know, we go to his trailer, and I turn the camera on. I'm like, okay, so I'll fire a few questions out. And he just goes off. He's like, I'm Souls of Mischief's #1 fan. I had all it, like, and he just goes off on this whole tangent about how he loved the Souls of Mischief, and, you know, like, he was like one of their biggest fans, and he still is to this day, and he knows the album 93 Till Infinity word for word. And, you know, like, those are the type of moments that were just so priceless, because I have that same sort of enthusiasm knowing the guys growing up, and, you know, and seeing the impact that their music had during that time. What I did benefit from is actually growing up with the guys. So I had the luxury of calling a lot of people that we grew up with from our neighborhoods and went to school with us. You know, like my cousin, who just so happened to have almost every photograph from her elementary school years, broke out this book, and she was in class with Casual, Tajay, A+, like they were all in like every class with her. And so, you know, like it was a lot of that where, like, you know, I would just kind of put the word out to the community. Oakland is a big city, but we're a very small community in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of us know each other, and so when the word went out, a lot of people were contacting me saying, hey, look, I've got some photos, you know, come by, or, you know, let me know. And that was a lot of what it was. And I also visited every high school, I mean, I had a few yearbooks of my own that I could pull from, but every high school, every, you know, like middle school, they call it middle schools now, every middle school, you know, so I actually went to every school and got what I could from the yearbooks and just old photos. It was quite a task, like, doing that. And then Facebook, of course, for anyone that, you know, needs a photo credit from Facebook, give me a call because yeah, I went through Facebook, and a lot of my Facebook friends had old photos because we're, you know, like, we're all connected, and so that was super cool to be able to go back and see that there were those old photos there. I think one of the most rewarding things was I showed the Souls this like a rough cut probably in June before they took off for their tour, and that was a heck of a payoff to you know, it was the 4 guys and me, and, you know, like, we sat in Tajay's house and we watched the film top to bottom. And to watch them watch it for the first time was it was special because, you know, like, there were so many little things that I put in, and they caught everything. They caught every little detail that I put into it. They caught every last thing, and they were just like so pleased and super happy, and, like, you know, their reactions to the different comments and the scene. It was just like so worth it to have that experience with them, because, like, you know, part of it is, in a way, like, you know, like, their approval gave me that last extra push to you know, like, really finish this off and make it what it is. So the future of the film, we are launching a campaign for fundraising, because we need to clear, we have an entire album that is tied to Jive RCA that we need to clear. We have songs that were used outside of the Souls catalog that needs to be cleared. There's a bunch of video clips that were used, as you saw, so stuff from that's probably owned by Viacom, things from the record labels, so Jive, Dell stuff, so Elektra. So I've been approaching all of these companies, trying to get clearance and make sure that I have every piece that's essential for the film. So that's gonna probably cost, I hope it doesn't cost too much, but I'm almost certain that there'll be a nice cost involved there. So there's that aspect, but then also production wise, like finishing the film. So it needs to have you know, a professional audio mix, and it needs to be colored by a professional colorist in order to be film and DVD ready. So there's going to be, you know, a push over the next 45 days to raise the funds to, and it's an Indiegogo campaign under Till Infinity Doc. And yeah, we're hoping to make that last push and maybe even get the film into festivals. And so some of the funds would go toward festival fees as well. So we're really excited about where it goes next.